Is spiritual practice really necessary? A talk with Unmani.
So our theme today is spiritual practice really necessary? And this question is such in a way, a trick question or a paradoxical question. Because actually it's not so much about whether spiritual practice is really necessary. It's about why, or what for, what's your motivation? Because spiritual practice is beautiful. But it depends, what are you trying to get or become? Where are you heading? Do you have a goal that you're hoping to achieve through spiritual practice? And that's very natural as a spiritual seeker. We usually come to this path of waking up to who we are because we want to be free from pain and suffering, from discomfort. And we perhaps hear about states like awakening, enlightenment, or even just we have a dream of one day we'll be free from pain, or less thinking, or my thinking won't have such a strong hold over me. We have all kinds of goals, and if we're really honest, even if we have seen through or let go of some of the big goals, perhaps we're still holding on to some of the small, the more subtle goals. And it can be challenging to really let go of all goals, because it can seem as if without a goal, then how will I get out of bed in the morning? How will I be motivated to do anything or to become better in any way, to fix myself, improve myself? Won't I just fall back into old habits, old patterns? Won't I just go back to sleep? If you're longing for awakening, then it's very natural to be desperate to do anything to get there. And I would say, as long as you feel that desperation, then you must follow any path or any practice that you feel pulled towards or moved to. You must go for it. You must follow that sense of resonance wherever it takes you, as long as it takes. Because if you hear, well, just be here now and that's it, there's nothing else needed, you're already everything you're trying to become, it's true. But if you take it on as a mental concept, then you'll always be doubting, let's say, doubting whether you really had checked out all possibilities. So first of all, you must check out all possibilities. You must, if you feel that you must practice whatever you must practice in order to become free from suffering, let's say, then you must try hard. You must exhaust yourself completely in trying to be free from pain and suffering. You must see for yourself that that there is no escape from anything in life, because that's often what we're trying to do. Through practice, we're trying to escape. We're trying to maintain a certain spiritual state a beautiful state, so that we don't have to feel the discomfort of being human. So you have to try and fail, and try and fail, and try and fail. And maybe you succeed for a while. As long as you maintain the practice, you might succeed. You might be able to experience a certain state for a while. But no doubt, life at some point will slap you on the face and wake you up and invite you back down to the ground so that you can see for yourself that there is no escape. And this is often where people start to, once they crash down to the ground, they start to believe, well, I haven't got it yet. I need to work harder. I need to practice more to get there. Okay, so then you practice more and you try to get there again. You must follow that feeling until you crash again and again and again down to earth and see really for yourself. And you become so disillusioned with goals and arriving at spiritual states. And perhaps at that point you reject all spiritual practice. It's understandable because it hasn't taken you where you hoped it would take you. And that's often what people do when they first come to this more, let's say, non-dual path. They reject all spiritual practice, all anything spiritual, in fact. Often it can be like that. And that rejection is a necessary part of waking up, because you're seeing that nothing outside of you can wake you up or take you there. But at a certain point, even the rejection becomes exhausting. It becomes painful to reject anything. And then you might come full circle back to spiritual practice. But to see that, not that it's a practice to arrive anywhere, to get to some beautiful spiritual state, but it's about consciously acknowledging who you are, taking some time, perhaps every day, to sit with yourself, to let go of the stories, the identities, the dramas, and to fall into yourself, as we did when we first started this session today. To feel the body, to notice all the sensations that are here, to notice the breath, and to notice how deeply nourishing this is. It's nourishing for this human, because most of the day, perhaps, we are rushing around, running from one thing to the next, being somebody, trying to achieve something. And a practice can actually give us some time to just stop and consciously acknowledge that there's nothing to do, nowhere to go, nothing to get, no one here, that it's just life happening. That it's a play of energy, a dance. And without a regular practice or a conscious acknowledgement in that way, it's easy to overlook, to get lost in your thinking, even though you've recognized perhaps that you are not limited to your thinking. But the thinking's very sneaky. It can start creating some new identity to land in. Even a more spiritual, awakened identity. You think that you've got it. You think that you've arrived. That you know better. And then just stopping and letting it all fall away. Without any identity. Without any meaning for who you are. It's so simple.
A courageous warrior to face